Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out a video titled My Thoughts on America 1 Year Later. American living in Germany. I've always enjoyed content from Americans living in Germany. I think it's the most clear perspective that I could possibly get. We're going to be checking out this video, and it's coming from the channel titled With Olivia. A link will be in the description for the original video, so you can show some love over there as well. And I do ask that you guys do like and subscribe, and talk to me in the comment section how you feel about this video that we're going to be checking out together right now. So without further ado, let's get right into this video.
I have been living in Germany since 2019. When I moved initially, I was not expecting to have the culture shock that I did. I was not expecting for there to be a lot of resistance in myself. I thought that it was going to be easy breezy. I was gonna live this cool like European lifestyle, ride around on a bike, eat baguettes all day, be cute, all of the things. That was not the case. I was thrown into a culture that was very serious, not a lot of sugarcoating happens, very direct, just very efficient and also very quiet. I thought, oh my God, I'm in for it. So now that I've been living in Germany, I'm able to really put together German news stuff and also American news and form a new opinion about the United States as an American living outside of the fishbowl, which I like to call it. Now that I live outside of the US, I can see a lot of things a lot more clearly than I did last year. So number one, I am really seeing that there is a really big divide. I think this is very obvious. This is one of the reasons I moved away from the United States to begin with, is this divide that's been happening in the United States has really just grown, and it is so strong. The polarization is so strong, but it's not necessarily the beliefs, I think, that are the full problem. It's the fact that nobody listens to each other. So something I've learned after living in Germany is that Germans are great listeners, and the United States Americans are more talkers. What I think happens is in the United States, from what I see now as an outsider and also having lived in the United States, is that in the United States, you're so focused on making your point and saying it as loud as you can and making it really stand out and stick that you don't ever take the time to step back and listen. And I also think it has to do with pride and with ego. That pride and that ego seems to be really ingrained in US citizens as we grow up. And I think that it's really difficult for us to say, hey, I was wrong. Hey, oops, didn't see that. Hey, oops.
I mean, I've never really had any interactions with Germans, but you guys are the Germans. You guys can let me know if this is the case. But I will definitely say that what she's talking about is indeed true. I would imagine that this is a common thing everywhere in this world. The extreme divide, I definitely don't think that is, something that you can find everywhere. But I do believe that, commonly speaking to a lot of people, you'll have a situation where they cannot own up to the BS that they've done. Like, I've had those experiences with people in different countries, but like I said, I've not had the German experience. So you guys should let me know if this is actually factual, because I can't actually say. But if this is factual, shout out to the Germans for actually giving airs, because it's always something that I admire when I see someone doing this, because it's quite rare in my personal life experience. But I admire it so much because it's the only way to move forward. I think a lot of people, if we don't, if you don't agree with me, I say you don't understand. And that's not what understanding and listening does not mean agreeing. And I think a lot of people get that so confused that they think, I don't agree with you, so it means I don't understand you. No, that's not it, baby. That's not it.
In the United States, that's something that they really struggle with back home, is to really just listen to the other side. That's something that I think is really destroying that community aspect of living in the United States. That American dream of like really being and coming together and being a melting pot is really kind of turning into being water and oil, and you guys just aren't mixing, and it's just a lot of yelling and not a lot of listening. I think that a lot could be solved if people were willing to just hold their opinions back for a second. I'm not asking anybody to change any opinions that they have, but if they just held them inside for a second and let somebody talk instead of yell over each other, I think a lot would change. So I think listening is a big problem in the United States. I didn't realize that when I was living there. I started to as I got older and I started to travel, but while I was living there, I thought that that's just how we were. We were loud, we believe in things. It's great to have an opinion, it's great to voice your opinion, but we're never actually taught to listen to opinions. My mom always taught me to listen to others and to see others through a compassionate eye. But I think that as you grow up, you form your own opinions and you form your own way of living, and so it can only go so far. That was something that I kind of had to really step back, observe in myself, and then update, basically. The second thing that I think about the United States, and this really carries on from last year, but I'm able to see it a lot more clearly and have more solid examples, is the United States really is lacking education amongst its people. And when I say education, I don't mean math and science. However, that is the case. I think the education is really around what happens from other perspectives, so other world perspectives. When you live in the United States, taught world history basically, in the sense that you are an American, this is what it means to be American, this is how you should be prideful being an American, this is how America was founded, this is how America feels, this is how America speaks, this is how America deals with things, these are the events that America has been a part of, how things affect America, but you're never actually taught this is what happened and this is how Japan was affected. For example, Pearl Harbor. I don't know how the Japanese people were affected. I don't know any of the things that changed for them. I don't know anything about that, and so it lacks.
I understand that.
lack as a student in the United States the education to really to learn that other people have different experiences. It goes so much deeper than just understanding that. I understand that people are from different backgrounds, they have different socioeconomic statuses, they have different upbringings and beliefs. I understand that, and life doesn't happen to people the same way. But when you're in the United States, you really I really am generalizing, but I really believe that you grow up and you think that the rest of the world operates the way that the United States does, or it operates in reaction to the US. And that's just not the case. And I think that in the United States, they're really lacking education in that department, and also in empathy. I
get what she was previously saying before, but I don't agree with the part where she says that in the United States, it's like people think that, it's like a reaction, whatever. That little bit that she said, I don't agree with it, because I think that is in the case for every single country, that they think things operate the way how it is, in other countries. I genuinely think that's the case, because laws that you would say are illegal in a particular country, you go to another country and think that that would be illegal as well, and you find out it's actually legal. Like a German going to another country, they'd probably be like, oh, the FK beach or whatever it is, those exist everywhere. But in other countries, you find, oh, that's illegal. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't really agree with that. Y'all can let me know your perspective on that, but I wouldn't really agree with it. But I do understand the previous points that she's making regarding the education and not understanding the perspective of other people. That is a very good point.
Or learn anything about other cultures. I literally couldn't tell you key figures in Sweden. I couldn't tell you any wild events that happened in the Ukraine. Okay, Chernobyl, but maybe, is that even right? I don't even know. So it's stuff like that where I just think there's like a lack of education, and really I think part of my living in Germany now is really catching up to the rest of the world. I learned about the United States. I'm really grateful that I got to have an education and that I got to go to public school and I got to learn all of the things that I did, because I think that it set me up in a really nice way, and I'm very grateful for that. I think it's just all of these different things that I'm really having to relearn as an adult, and I think the only reason that I'm even considering relearning them is because I'm now living in a different country with a different perspective and also a different take on education. And so that's something that I really feel America is lacking in, is just really general education. And I know that people are going to be in my comments and say, well, screw you, stay in Germany if you like to live outside of the US so much, we don't need you. That's what I'm talking about. There's not an opportunity to just listen, and I really appreciate it if you're watching my channel right now, because I think that that's the cool thing about the internet, is we're able to connect with each other. And I've watched so many videos about Germans and their experience just in their own country, that now I'm able to say, oh, that's so interesting that this is how people react to them in their own country. And I've also had so many interactions with all of you guys who are from Germany in my comments, and I just start to realize, like, Germans really listen, and I think that leads way or gives space to someone to change. The third thing that I want to say, I spend a lot of time thinking, would I ever go back to the United States? I think, of course, I'd like to always leave those doors open. Who wouldn't? I'm not silly. I really love the United States in the sense that that's my home country. I'm proud in many, many ways of being from the United States. That doesn't mean that it's perfect, and I'm not going to pretend like the United States is perfect. I don't think Germany is perfect either.
Good.
I had a lot of resistance when I moved to Germany, but
that's the thing that that I'm very happy that she's open-minded in a sense that she understands that not because, you know, this or whatever, you know, Germany is not perfect, and there's no place or country or people that is perfect, and often a lot of countries do get criticized. For example, the United States, and a lot of people will make it seem as if it's hell on earth. It's really just a country with different views and perspective compared to yours. It has issues just the same way how, you know, every other country does have issues. And that's the reason why I've never tolerated the hate towards any country, because at the end of the day, there's no perfect country, okay? Like, it may seem perfect, but put somebody in the scenario and you can see how that perfection is no longer there, right? So it's good that she actually understands that Germany is not perfect, you know, because I think a lot of people will leave a specific place, go to another one and be like, oh yeah, this is going good, so this is a perfect place. There's no such thing as a perfect place. We're humans and we're all vulnerable, and we're you know, all capable of the BS that somebody else did. So at the end of the day, no such thing as perfection.
What I am thinking about is what would actually make sense for me, my future family, and I really think that a lot would need to change in the United States for me to really consider going back. I think that people move to the United States again with the American dream in mind, where they have all of these opportunities to then become wealthy and to build, you know, this dream life. I, coming from the United States into a country like Germany, almost have the reverse effect where I feel so grateful, and I wasn't like this when I started. When I came to Germany, I was completely pissed off that nobody had any interest in becoming the richest, having the biggest house, who had the fanciest job title. That used to piss me off. I was so angry.
But that's the thing. This is something that as humans we cannot do, right? I respect the fact that she has changed from that. But what is it that it matters to you that somebody doesn't have the aspiration or the dreams that you have? What is it? Why does it matter to you so much that, you know, your the people you're surrounded by doesn't think or view money the way you do? And it's the same reverse. What is it that it matters to you so much that somebody else goals is to be successful and rich? I've never understood why people make it such a big deal what another person, you know, aspire to be like or to be. At the end of the day, it's their life. They get a choice to go hard or go home, and you get a choice to be, you know, chill and relax and live a long life just the same as they do, right? So I never quite understood why people get mad at somebody for having their own dreams and aspiration. Like, that's their life. You know what I mean? It never makes sense to me
about it. And now that I'm here and I've been living here and really just kind of opening up to a new culture, what I'm realizing is that I crave simplicity. I want to have, I don't know, just moving to a different country, it humbles you in such a wild way. I think that when I moved here, I had such an ego, the pride, the American thing. And when I moved here, I realized, you know, hey, there's a different way of life, and it doesn't always have to be the Ferraris and the mansions. That is how I feel about the United States in this year. Maybe that will change. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please go ahead and like it. Don't forget to share this video.
Hey man, good stuff, Shawty. But no, for real, like I said throughout the video, I already explained myself, so outro not a big of a deal. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about what I said throughout the video. But at the end of the day, to me, it is, you know, life. We have our own, you know, likes and preferences, and you know, it's quite an important thing for humans to actually pause and just give somebody the table, give them the microphone, let them voice their opinions. And at the end of the day, people have to realize this. You don't need to agree with what someone is saying to understand. And you also, who is, you know, trying to be understood, need to understand that someone can understand you without agreeing with what you're saying. It's that simple. And as humans, that's never going to be something that we're going to be perfect at. However, it's something that we should try to be at least good at it. But you guys can let me know how you feel about this video in the comment section down below. I think she's on a good path here in Germany, a little bit more open, pretty solid. And you can let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section down below.